Keep spinning. Keep spinning. Come on.
And welcome back to another edition of Two Dudes and a Mexican. 2 weeks in a row.
Record.
That's a record. I'm your host, some dude named Victor Salazar. To the left of me, another dude named Peter Soprano.
What up?
To the right of me, a resident Mexican, Dave Quinones.
Órale, mi gente.
My guy Hav in the background, still not a Lions fan, but he's here. What up? Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row, live from Bogies, as you can see. We love Bogies. We love Mo downstairs.
Yep.
Playing Drake. You can hear it. Stop playing that garbage, bro. Anyways, so last show we did a lot on the NFL draft. We're going to do that again. Obviously, the title of the show is Best 5 Team Grades for the NFL draft, so we're going to dive into that.
It's going to be short.
We're going to dive into Pete's frustration, me and Dave's elation, because I think the Giants did great.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the massive women's fight yesterday at Madison Square Garden. You know, we got to give them props.
Yeah.
And, you know, the NBA playoffs are still going on. We got the Bucks and Celtics going on right now.
Woo-hoo.
So, let's start off here, Pete. I'm going to start with you because there was a lot of venting on the app called Twitter.com.
Yeah.
And while you tell me why you needed to vent, I'll go tweet the link to the show. If it didn't automatically did tweet out. But A.J. Brown is no longer a Titan.
I just want to point out that I did say that last. We could run the tape, and I did say something. So, but we'll leave that to later.
We're not replaying.
We'll leave it. I'm just saying.
There's no replaying.
I mean, I did say it. Though.
So I know I was on a train. I missed hanging out with the guys on Thursday.
Monticello, right?
Yeah,
Is that where
yeah,
the last
fell
stop?
asleep.
Yeah, I fell
asleep on the train.
I didn't make it
It's
to
all
yesterday.
It's all good, bro.
But Pete, I seen in the text chat, Pete said, "Fuck the NFL." I'm like, what?
He knew something was wrong.
I'm like, what is going on?
He's
I'm
like, what happened? He's like, what happened?
I'm like, what happened? I get on Twitter.
No, he almost broke his phone.
AJ Brown's traded to the
He almost
fucking
burnt down the-
Eagles, man.
He almost burnt down the bar.
Trade him to the 49ers, bro. Get him out of my division. But, man,
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to you, man. Before we get into the top 5 NFL grades, or top 5 drafts, I would say, I want you to vent. This is your platform, so go right ahead.
Listen, I've been a Titans fan for 30 years and over 30 years, and this was probably one of the most frustrating nights to see them. This goes up there with them losing the playoff game last year, with them as the Houston Oilers blowing the 35-point lead against the Buffalo Bills. It was just frustrating to see a team that's so close to winning a championship trade away your best wide receiver, a top 10 wide receiver in the league. And it was over a couple million per year, which to us obviously is a lot. But to an NFL team, to lose your best player over a couple million a year is just stupid. Like the league is turning towards a passing league. You need good wide receivers. You can't just keep shuffling over and over again and just hoping you get lucky and picking out the good wide receivers. Now, I personally think Treylon Burks is going to be a good wide receiver. Robert Woods, and you can go and try to win a championship. One of my main tweets right after that was like, I just wanted. Well, no, the one I really wanted was because after the playoff loss, I best weapon. Then you might as well burn it down. The team.
But could they have kept them?
Frustration because the contract negotiations have been going on. While he just got frustrated with with it just a year. If you sign your defensive man, it's Simmons and Autry who are both making $10 million a year. But if that's the most in the league. When he gets paid $18 million, every wide receiver $1 million now. So Brown wanted over.
When I'm saying, these houses are going for crazy amounts of money. That's what.
Let's move on.
For all your realtor needs, reach out to David. Let's get into it. I just wanted you to vent, to be your second favorite team.
Shit, come on, bro.
Can you say something to that?
Yeah.
Can you please say something to that? I mean,
You support him.
back from wherever.
It's normal, though. That's
A
normal.
couple of years.
Okay, so let's get into let's go with your 5th. Let's go with your top 5 and tell me why. You rank them 5th?
No, I'm not gonna rank them 5th. So
I mean, I didn't watch the last. I think
Sterling
Shepard
and you got
Tony.
and you got what's his face?
Shepard was practically cut because
He's
only on the roster because he took the minimum salary and took a pay cut. He's not going to be on the team.
He loves New York that much. He's going to take a pay cut.
He's not going to be on the roster after this year. So you got to look for the future.
Good point. So, but I mean, again,
Titan.
we'll see.
Titan.
We'll see what happens. But I like what the Giants did. I was happy as a Giant fan. So
So you put them 2?
I put them 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about your other 4?
I mean,
I'll let you think about that because that too is a little suspect to me. Because I love the Giants.
listen,
I love the
we
Giants.
got to be positive, baby.
I'll say
we got to
they
be positive, baby.
I will say they had a top 10 draft. I won't say they had a top 5.
But you got to compare it from Gettleman to
I would say
man.
I think that's a
two.
big difference too. So
I think all right, for the Giants, let's focus a little on the Giants because I said we would. I think.
By the way, I agree with him. I have number 2. So.
What?
Yeah, I think the Giants are
it's all good.
All right.
They hit big points and they got 2-step players.
I think the draft was made easier for the Giants
By
because
the Houston Texans.
the Jets and the Texans both went cornerback at 3 and 4. Made life easier because it was like, all right, now Joe Schoen is like, I have the 5th pick. There is Kayvon Thibodeau there. I'm not sure if the Panthers may get a pass rusher. I don't want to leave them there. I know they need a tackle. But you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pass rusher because we need one. And then I will get whoever
Is left.
is left
Top
between
10.
Iki and Evan Neal. So essentially, he basically said, I'm going to take my pass rusher now. And then I'm going to make the second decision easier for myself. I'm not going to pick between Iki and Evan Neal because I know the Panthers are going to take one of them. And I'm just going to take the second person that they don't take. And either way, I think he did well. I think it was made easier for him. I would have liked to have seen what he would have done if, let's say, Evan Neal went 4th or whatever. Icky went 3rd, and they didn't take Sauce Gardner. Who was the other guy they took? Who the Texans take, the cornerback?
Derek Stingley.
So Derek Stingley. So I would like to, because I think it was an easy decision to make at that point.
I think you just still could fuck it up, though.
I mean maybe Gettleman.
More to his point. More to his point.
Yeah,
More
it
to
was
his
tough
point.
too, but-
More to his point. I mean, Gettleman. If Gettleman was in the seat, who knows? But I don't like to think of what would have happened. I like to think of what did happen. How did they upgrade? And what is the outlook? You know what I'm saying for
Gettleman
this
was it,
season?
took strength.
And I think it's going to be a really. I like the move.
I mean, I think Thibodeau is we were talking about it in the car. Thibodeau is made for New York.
Perfect New York player.
Like, did you see him in the Make a Wish kid? Like, saying,
I told him, man. I saw one of his interviews, and I know
Pretty dope.
I know one of the red flags was what he said. You know, in the review, was something about like trying to breathe his brand. Or I don't give a shit about that. Listen, if you can
Perfect
play,
place to do
if you
promote
can
his
play,
brand.
yeah, if
But that's the thing,
you have a mindset like that, and you can play in New York and make it in New York, I don't give a shit.
The thing is, I think everyone, at some point, if you're going to be a star, is going to focus on the brand.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's not like,
they say it.
you know what I'm saying? It's not like Patrick Mahomes is going to throw 50 touchdowns and not get endorsements.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's at
Tom Brady,
State Farm. What else?
Tom
is
Brady
he
opened his own brand.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think in the past you wouldn't be able to talk about that because it was just frowned upon. But now it's like
Produce.
you know what I'm saying? It's like $20 million, right? As a top wide receiver, who's making that, right? AJ,
Like 6 people now.
6 people, right?
Yeah.
That's the backup point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, probably. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you gotta produce your brand, like because if not, your career is for
The guaranteed money, so you don't even get that whole big contract that looks good.
So it's like I'm all right with that, and I liked how the leaks were wrong with Joe Schoen because they all I forget who it was. I was whoever it was Field, maybe it was Fieldy.
So they actually put that out by mistake.
Yeah, but
They did on purpose to push
I think
him
that
down.
was
So
a
it's
rumor
like-
though about.
But it's great
about-
because
about-
that's throwing smoke screens and like because they literally no one they picked the LSU cornerback in the 4th round, I think.
Yeah.
And he said they asked him who was the toughest. Obviously, it's cool, right?
No, of course, yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, literally, he was the hardest receiver, and we're talking about guys that peel it on the outside. I'm gonna start with my number 1. I don't even know if everything they
I knew you
did,
were going to agree with me.
everything,
I knew you were
I
going
thought
to
they had a top 5 brand.
everything they did. No one thought he was gonna fall that far. 14.
Yeah.
People at this position, and they're probably the dude from Iowa, can't miss. Whatever. He had a really good draft, man, and
That's a big man in the middle.
that's a big. The year before that, and I think they.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
I think they literally had. I think they maybe, but at the end of the day, like the Cowboys are a mess. Like
Yeah.
on paper, they're always going to be rated high, but you literally have Jermaine Johnson. Oh, Micah Parsons, and Jerry Jones is over here jerking off like, yeah, I'm Thibodeau, pure pass rushing.
Yeah.
It's probably the second best pass rush in the draft to me. Like Hutchinson is great, but I think pure pass rushing, like third down, put your fingers in the ground, go get the quarterback, maybe third, and Walker will be fourth. I don't know if you agree with it, but I think Jermaine Johnson, if not the third, he's right behind Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm gonna let you go. I don't know who I'll go with fourth and fifth, but
Well, I'll go backwards. Fifth, I thought it was actually the Eagles, so I agree with you. I thought the Eagles getting their guys and getting Davis and finding a way to trade for A.J. Brown, because that counts because they used a draft pick for it. They had all those picks to fill out all. The reason why I say Detroit, obviously, Aiden Hutchinson fell into their lap, so you're getting 4 starters right there. So how could you not be at the top of the draft?
They had a lot of picks, though, man.
But I mean,
they had a lot of picks in this draft as well.
I mean that
which
helps.
obviously worked. Yeah.
Yeah, they worked it to perfectly. They gave them a second round pick to move up. They did everything they needed to do, and they were perfect. They were set up perfectly. They added 5 starters. Well, he said Johnson too. It's the team that stood out the most that said, "All right,
I think the
team
Ravens
had to
did.
pick high."
The
I
Ravens
don't know,
did,
man. I don't know. I don't want to say it. So
Just say it. We
didn't say the
he
Eagles?
said the Eagles.
He said the Eagles.
I
He
mean,
said the Eagles. He
that
said the
AJ
Eagles.
Brown. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I mean, if you
I don't want to face that fucking guy.
I guess if
every
you
fucking-
count
at
the
least
trade,
two-
if you count the trade as part of the draft,
Yeah.
I think the Eagles probably
I
have
mean,
the
they
best
gave him a
draft.
first round pick, so you
I
kind of got
mean-
to count it.
I mean, Eagles are up there, man. I won't rate it, but the Eagles are up there only because now we're gonna have to fucking face
But
this
doesn't-
guy, and we're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, cover that running. I mean, that quarterback. I mean,
Jalen
But
Hurts-
that's the funny thing. They had 3 first round picks this year. One of them they took the big man on defense. Second one they traded for A.J. Brown. The third one they dealt it in to get a first next year. So they did an unbelievable
Yeah,
job.
they
with
did.
that
They did
first
great.
round
They
pick.
did great, man. Their GM did a heck of a job. So, you know,
I mean,
nice to see
all
it, so.
right. So my last two, I think I like what the Chiefs did. Actually, I think they really had a good draft. They shored
Sky
up
Moore.
Yeah, they shored up a lot of things on the defense, and I think you have to, because literally that division is ridiculous. like it's just like a Derek Carr, like
Derek Carr is the worst
it's the
quarterback.
worst quarterback in the division. And if you traded Derek Carr to the NFC East, he'd probably be the second
Like,
best quarterback
like third,
in the division or third, right? When it's like he's the worst quarterback in that division, and this man just got Devontae Adams,
Yeah.
right? And he pair him with Darren Waller, like,
Yep.
and you know what I'm saying? He's the worst quarterback. Like, I'm not saying worst, 4th best, because
Yeah.
actually Derek Carr is not great, but he's a good, solid quarterback,
Yeah.
right? May not lead
Top
you
15,
top
yeah.
15, right? And then top 25.
Top 30, bro.
But they had to, right? They had to. You're facing Russell Wilson twice a year.
Yeah.
You're facing Derek Carr twice a year.
Yeah.
And then you're facing
You got Patrick Mahomes and you got Justin Herbert.
you're facing you're
Like,
facing
that's a
Justin Herbert.
Ridiculous division.
And I think they did well. I think they did well. I know this might be I don't think people will agree with me on
Don't
this.
say the Patriots.
No, I think the Green Bay Packers had a great draft. And I know people are going to say, well, yeah, dude, they shored up that defense, and maybe they didn't need it. Maybe they didn't need to shore up that
They just hate
defense.
Aaron Rodgers.
They-
Yeah. It's
Their-
like they gave
their
Aaron Rodgers
defense-
no health.
That was
They got a wide receiver.
They got a wide receiver.
Yeah.
their defense is going to be one of the best next year, if not the best.
Oh,
And that's all you kind of need, right? It still wins championships, no matter what people say.
You got to get to the championship, though.
Well, that's why I have Aaron Rodgers to get you to the championship, right?
Gotta be able to throw the ball.
Gotta get you to the championship, right? But I'll say
throwing
this,
that ball to
man.
himself.
He's got two people. He's got two people.
They
who
need
can
to
throw
put
the
him in a dome or something because
I'm
every time
telling
he's
you.
out there in the bad weather in the playoffs, it don't work out too well for them.
Well, at least he'll have a defense that'll at least give him 14 points. Like put up say what you want, but I think that defense is gonna be really good next year.
It will be.
And
It was good last year.
yeah, and they strengthened it essentially, you know. So I like the Packers draft. I really did, even though
It's
the
just-
glaring news of wide
It's
receiver.
just amazing. They've had 15, 20 years of Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and they've never given a 1 first round pick wide receiver.
Well,
It's crazy.
I mean they've had 30 years of elite quarterbacking,
Yeah.
and they only had 2 Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
So,
They want to change something there.
what do you think about your last 2?
About what the last two.
Your last 2 top 5s.
I put in there, like I said, I think the Eagles, because I thought the Eagles, we talked about A.J. Brown and everything like that and all they did with their first round picks. And I had the Ravens in there because I thought the Ravens just filled out their team. You talked about the 2 guys they got in the first round. And then the 6th round, they took little pieces to help out on pretty much all parts of the ball, whether it's special teams, whether it's defense, offense. They helped out everything in that
So
6th
you
round.
went Jets,
Giants,
Giants,
Lions,
Eagles,
and Ravens.
Ravens.
What about the Titans? What are the Titans, man?
I mean, I gave them a B minus, but they're not top 5. They're in the middle somewhere.
I mean, I hope you guys are right at the Giants. I like what they did. I don't know if it was top 5, so we'll see next year. I guess before we move on to the playoffs and
Playoffs.
What'd you think about Pittsburgh taking Kenny Pickett at 18?
I was very surprised because everything you had heard and everything they had shown. Now they watched all the quarterbacks.
He's got little hands like me. So
They sent all their guys to see all the quarterbacks. So they saw Willis, they saw Pickett, they saw Ritter, and everything you heard was that Willis was their top guy, Ritter was second, and then they didn't really hear about a third one. So it was very surprising that they took him. He was considered the most ready to play. So maybe they may not be confident in Trubisky, and maybe they just say, all right, maybe we just start the rookie. I'm sure they're going to have a camp battle.
Mitchell.
Who knows now? I don't even know what he's doing, but
So through smoke.
so yeah, a little bit. I'm just surprised that they got it. I thought if they were not going to pick one of those top two quarterbacks in my mind, I thought they could have gotten something else. But they did get a wide receiver later in the draft to help them out. So, but they were able to get Kyle Monster in the 4th round, and he's super fast wide receiver. He's small, like 5'9", 170, but he runs like a 4.3 flat, so he's super fast.
I seen one of their beat writers on Twitter basically like put a list of who they have at each position. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm like, how do you know it's gonna be fun? What if fucking Kenny Pickett sucks?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? You could have Najee Harris, you could have Dante Johnson, and Claypool and Vermeuth, but the Giants have Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram's bum ass. Obviously not here anymore.
They need the line to work out.
Right, and it doesn't matter, right? They still sucked, right?
Most
so it's like
positions on offense. Line.
I went to 5 games last year. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun a few times when we beat the Panthers and we beat the Eagles, but the other 3 games I went to, it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun at all.
And they had arguably the second worst line in the league behind Cincinnati, so they were bad last year on the line. They added 2 pieces, but they needed more.
What do you think, Dave, about Desmond Ridder going to Atlanta?
I mean, obviously, I think it's a good pick only because, with the departure of Matt Ryan, obviously.
Matty Ice.
Matty No Ice.
Matty No Ice.
They obviously got to look, towards.
What do we call him? Matty Water or something like that?
Matty Water.
Because he's not cool. Like he's just right. Matty Ice. The ice melted.
Matty Dry Ice.
Yeah, maybe.
Dry Ice. But they'll get towards the future. So building towards the future, obviously, I mean, they needed to pick a quarterback. So, I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a good fit. So
he's got small hands though.
So yeah, but still, I mean, again, remains to be seen, and you hope that he's got a good quarterbacks coach, and
It's gonna be the league in fumbles.
Nah, it's still Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I was about to say that's still probably going to be Daniel Jones, right?
No,
he's always fucking fumbling the ball.
Not if they bench him mid-year.
So the one thing I seen throughout all the coverage of the NFL draft is hands. He's got long arms. He got short arms.
That's crazy.
Bro, what if he's just a good football player?
Yeah.
Like you can have short arms and be a great football player.
Yeah, like they say, you can't be a left tackle unless your arms are 34 inches in length and stuff. Like, then you got to be a right tackle. It's all weird shit, man.
I don't know, analytics and all this other stuff. Again, sometimes analytics is great, and sometimes analytics is
the combine and analytics made Trayvon Walker the #1 pick.
Basically,
there's no way he should have been #1 over it.
Didn't he only have like 4 sacks?
Yeah, he wasn't really great this year in terms of production. So it literally was because he just had he's 272 pounds and ran a 4.5.
I was going to say he ran that 4.5.
And the thing was that I heard, I think it was Mel Kiper wasn't there. He was in wherever, his home or whatever.
Yeah.
Saying that, he was playing out of position, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like,
what is excuses?
Didn't Georgia win the national championship last year?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's all these they had 6 guys on defense taking this year.
How are we making excuses for him not sacking people more on literally the best team?
They had 5 guys taken in the first round, and they were wondering why Nakobe Dean didn't go in the first round. So they had 6 guys that technically were like first round picks, like on their defense. Like,
and that defense was ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
you should have an open way. If you're the best player on that defense, then you should be able to clear away.
That was a spectacle of the NFL draft. Every year it gets crazier and crazier. I seen some guy with in between picks. There was performances. There was a guy doing hula hoops.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Vegas, baby.
I'm like, what is going on?
Chris Angel hanging from the sky. What the hell?
Still understand what's going on in front of Bellagio.
And what was up? What was up with the audio? It was horrible
Yeah,
audio.
it was real bad.
You're a multi-billion-dollar entity, maybe close to $1 trillion, and you can't get your audio fit. Come
Yo,
on,
the
guys.
funniest thing was that guy, Ed Morano. He was there for like 5 minutes, and they had the producer had to come on and try to get him to read the pick.
Oh yeah, because wasn't he?
He
He
was
started
there
a whole
for-
speech.
Yeah, he was there so long. He just kept doing the whole
The
speech.
two things I remember that was obviously outside of the guy with the hula hoops was the one dude who said something about where he went to school and he said go goats or something like that.
Yeah.
And the lady came over and was like, read what's on the card. What are you doing?
Ed Morano, yeah.
That was him, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't go
Same-
goats.
Yeah.
And
Same guy.
He was a player for 50 years ago with the
He's-
Vikings. I think
He was
it
like,
He wouldn't stop talking. He went on for like 5 minutes. That's
South,
the first
what did he say? He was like, South Indiana, like Southwest Indiana University, go goats.
He's the
They're like,
first
bro,
guy I've seen him
bro
try to
read
kick
the
off.
read the card, bro.
I thought he was receiving an award or something.
They should have brought him on there
Speech
for
was
day
going.
3. Because
And
day
then-
3 sucks. They should have brought him on
and
day 3.
then Wayne Newton, bro, got this dude is
Yeah,
old as hell,
my God,
man.
Yo, he looked like a scarecrow.
He's like the pick is in. Let's say it together, and then he just says it outside of Marcus Allen, and then he gets the university wrong. I think the guy was from Memphis, and I don't know what he said. Maybe he said Memphis, and he was from another school, but he totally got it wrong.
my
And I'm like,
gosh.
let's stop with the spec. Bring me more Make-A-Wish kids, and leave Wayne Newton's old ass at home.
Yeah, Kyle Brandt.
Las Vegas stable, bro.
Kyle Brandt eating the chicken wing.
Yeah, Kyle Bryant was
Eat
the
a chicken wing.
the Super Bowl 50, whatever, 8 champions. What do you say? The only guy that's gonna be called, name's gonna be called today. That's gonna be a Super Bowl winner.
champion.
I'm like, the Buffalo Bills don't have any more picks.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Like what happens to the guys in the 3rd and 4th round? They don't win a Super Bowl. They don't get a ring.
They knew they were training to wear, so no.
But it was fun. It was fun. The first, me and Pete used to make this a spectacle because
Yeah.
Saturday. I hated that it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
On Saturday, he used to come to my apartment and we'd be from like 11 a.m. to like 8 p.m. Just doing debauchery stuff. Binge drinking and like
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
basically shenanigans and
Yeah.
just laughing our ass off. I missed that, but
Yeah.
it's prime time now. But I digress.
We pass out and then wake up and the draft still
There's
going.
draft still going. Right? Order Chinese. The guy comes in, knocks on the door. He keeps knocking.
Food here?
He keeps knocking because we're sleeping. Then he calls me and I'm like, "Oh shit, the Chinese food's outside."
I've been out here 20 minutes.
Yep.
He goes, "What is it? The food's here."
Yeah.
The one time, not to go on a tangent, the one time before we went out for New Year's Eve, the dude banged on the door. He was like, "Chinese food, Happy New Year." I couldn't stop laughing. But shout out to
the
the
tip came in had a shot or something.
yeah, we gave him a beer.
That's a tip.
Yeah, we gave him a shot. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
it's a tip.
"Oh, come on in, you want a tip?" Yeah, sorry, had a shot of Hennessy. So, anyways, that was the NFL draft. Obviously, everyone loves the NFL.
Can't wait, man.
It was a
Can't wait.
spectacle. We're only 3 or
Yeah.
4 months away.
Yep.
Pivoting a little bit to what happened at Madison Square Garden yesterday.
The robbery.
Very-
Awesome play.
I'm not a proponent of women's boxing per se. I do watch Amanda Serrano because I think she's awesome.
And because
I watch Senicia Estrada because I think she's awesome.
Yep.
She's my favorite. Senicia Estrada is my
Yeah.
favorite. But Amanda Serrano gets knocked out, so that's why I pay attention to it.
Yeah.
2-minute rounds. I hate it. I
Yeah,
hate
it's
that they
hard.
only go 10,
Yeah.
whatever. But yesterday, it was literally the
Legit.
biggest women's boxing fight of all time. And it certainly lived up to it.
Yep.
Pete, I'm not mad with the decision. I'm mad that Amanda did not finish her
Fifth round.
Oh, it was
Fifth round.
over. It was
Fifth round.
over. It was over.
She dominated 2 rounds. She dominated the 5th and she dominated the 10th. The 10th was a little bit too late. The 5th, if it was 3 minutes rounds, there's no doubt that she would have stopped her in that 5th round. But I mean, it's 2-minute rounds, so there's nothing we can do about it. But it was a really good fight, back and forth. Looking back at it, it was pretty even. I know a lot of people were saying robbery, and at the time I said she got screwed. But it was an even fight. It could have gone either way.
I think it was 6-4 one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't like the 97-93.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't know how that's possible.
Yes. They gave a 10-8 round.
Yeah, there was a 10-8 round,
And they
right?
still gave him the 3-point win. I was like, how do you have Amanda winning the 10-8 round and you still give a 3-point win? Like, it made no sense. But I thought it was a good fight, and I definitely will see the rematch.
Yeah, I want to see a rematch.
And for the rematch, I want to see 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, or at least give me 12 rounds.
Yeah.
10 rounds.
I think Taylor said that she would be open, for a rematch.
Yeah, she said
we'll see if
they
that's,
both said it.
that's-
Yeah.
We'll
She
see
got
if
her ass
that's
kicked this time.
but
But it had the they wanted
It's a
that
good
in the
fight,
UK
though.
to start.
Good fight.
What was it? They wanted Ireland, I think.
Oh, yeah,
I'll give
Yeah, that's
her.
what Eddie Hearn said,
I'll
yeah.
give her in the 6th, 7th round. Like she really came back from
Oh, yeah.
literally being this close to being stopped. So speed was there. I just I don't know,
Busted
man.
her nose twice. Like,
Huh?
that's crazy. Busted her nose twice.
I'm like, Amanda, why did you put your were you tired? Like I really wish, if I was covering the fight, I'm sure somebody probably asked her like why she took the pedal off the gas or whatever, foot off
Maybe
the
she
pedal.
was tired. I don't know.
But she was, she was bloodied up. But I guess, Dave, I want to say, if you watch the fight, over 19,000 people, electric.
I heard, yeah, MSG, baby.
Well, probably the best women's fight I've ever seen in boxing. Obviously, not comparing it to other combat sports. Probably the best women's fight I've ever seen. Where do they go from here? Like, is there something else that they can do to do this again? Because I don't know, man. That was pretty high. Obviously they go to Ireland, it's going to be done. But what about the rest of the women? Because there's not another Katie Taylor out there. There's not another Amanda Serrano out there, right? There's other women out there, but this was literally probably the 2 best female fighters of the last 20 years coming together and fighting. What do they do from here?
They just gotta, better the promotion about, some of these fighters
So
that can be appealing. Obviously, Amanda Serrano, obviously the Latino side, she's Puerto Rican.
Damn right.
That's all, from Brooklyn, I think. So
Brooklyn, yeah.
that's appealing.
Brooklyn.
She's obviously tied to one of the Paul brothers. So obviously, he brings people, to the seats as well. Yeah. So Eddie Hearn, I like him as a promoter. He does really well. So they got to be able to, be able to make these storylines and promote this a little bit better. So hopefully there's more to come, man. I didn't get to see the fight because I had some technical difficulties getting into the zone. So, but I was able to actually track the fight. I saw the highlights. Yeah. So it was a close fight. A lot of swing rounds. I thought.
Yeah, I think. There was
and yes, Serrano. She had her, man. She had her. Taylor did a good job coming back. Working that defense and being able to maintain that space, obviously from Serrano, because you knew Serrano, you knew what Serrano was going to do. Yeah. She was going to try to go in there and knock her out. She's got a lot of power in her punches. So I definitely would like to see something like this, even to promote it better as well. Like bringing it to MSG, the Mecca. That was great. That was a great plan by I hate to say it, Paul and Hearn, but that was fucking great. That was awesome. And they need to do more of that.
I think you might.
That round was crazy.
Yeah, did you see the video?
That was nuts.
At the end, that Katie Taylor's knee was like this close from the ground, but somehow
crazy.
That would have changed the fight. I don't know if it would have changed the fight based on the scorecard.
Yeah,
the scorecard was pretty garbage, but
that would have raised the outrage.
That's maybe something you got to work.
But that 10th round was crazy. Like it really was at the point where they were just throwing punches and said, all right, who's going to go down first?
And the crowd was going nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking great.
It was crazy.
Seeing the highlight, it was fucking nuts. It was pretty cool.
All right.
But are you trying to say we need more Jake Paul in boxing? I think we do need more Jake Paul in boxing.
It's helping.
I think he will be a better promoter, obviously, than boxer.
Yeah.
And if he can do this, he's putting his money where his mouth is, right? He said, I'm here to help boxers make more money, right? And Amanda Serrano,
women's boxing.
Yeah, Amanda Serrano made 7 figures. Whenever these MMA guys come to box, they're making the most money they've ever made.
Exactly.
So I think, obviously, I respect his craft, coming in, not knowing whatever. He's, he probably kick a lot of people's ass in the boxing game, right? The dudes that are like 4-12 or 8-8 or whatever. The people that you give your prospects coming up, he'll probably whoop their ass, right? Yeah. Probably not going to win a world championship, right?
No.
But if he can do what he did yesterday and promote something that big, you know what I'm saying? And, I should have went yesterday. The tickets weren't that expensive, but,
how much were tickets?
If you wanted to sit upstairs, like $30.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
downstairs, like $200, $300.
Yeah.
But still, man,
200, 300 is not bad.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
19,000 people.
Yeah.
It was a great experience to see live. I didn't see it live, but everyone that I spoke to that saw it live,
they said it was unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. But to see the crowd was amazing. Before we move to the NBA playoffs,
by the way, Jake Paul fights August 13th.
Nobody gives a shit. Move on.
But,
he just made an announcement. He's gonna fight Tony Bellew.
The announcement was made right before we started the show.
Yeah. He's gonna fight Tony Bellew, probably.
All right, move on.
No, but great night. Loved it. You want to say anything about
Valdez,
your boy,
Stevenson?
and,
So
the guy from Newark, stand up, let's go.
Listen, Shakur. I mean, damn, he was big.
Yeah,
I mean, compared to Val, I was like, whoa, he is so much bigger. But listen, Stevenson, what a great fight, man.
Yeah.
That speed, footwork. He was maintaining that distance too. He wasn't allowing Valdez to come in. I thought Valdez fought the wrong fight as well. Very flat-footed, not much movement side to side.
What he does, though.
I mean, I know, but still, I mean,
fights.
listen, you got to make an adjustment though, and he tried to make some adjustments, but not a real adjustment. He just that peekaboo guard. I mean, I hate that. I mean, I don't think, I didn't think that helped him as well. So I mean, listen, credit to Stevenson, man. He looks like a star. You know what I'm saying? That is coming out. This kid is good. I would love to see him and Haney. If Haney obviously beats Kambosos, or maybe even the winner of that fight. But I would love to see that fight. But man, he's a rising star, man. You got to give credit, and I thought he fought a great fight. He looked good too. Looked good.
I think the KO was there for him if he wanted it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was a little, that's the one thing.
He didn't really press at times. Like
that's the one
you
thing.
Could have saw it. He didn't really.
It's the one thing I want him to kind of work on to get that killer instinct, dude. Like if Terrence Crawford has you out there, Terrence Crawford is gonna finish you. Errol Spence has you outside of the Mikey Garcia fight. Because I don't know what it was. Maybe he felt bad for Mikey, but if Errol Spence has you out there and you see the KO, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, but I don't think he saw the KO yesterday. I know you said that it was out there for him, but I don't think it was. I don't think Valdez was ever hurt. He got hit a lot, but I don't think he was ever hurt. The knockdown was almost a flash down when he was off balance.
It wasn't knocked down, though.
Yeah, it definitely was knocked down, but I think it was more off balance where he got hit in the side of the ear. Yeah. So I don't think he ever really got him hurt. I just think it was one of those situations. And this may be a little controversial, but I think that he, in terms of his style, in terms of the hit and don't get hit, he is right now the closest to what Floyd was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
Last night, Valdez hit him more than any other guy has ever hit him in that round,
yeah.
And it was only 18 punches.
The fifth or sixth.
Yeah, the third round. And it was only 18 punches. Like, for somebody to say you're high, he's been fighting for it's not like he's only had 5 fights. He's had a good amount of fights. And you've only been hit 18 times in a round max.
It's crazy.
You're not getting hit.
Yeah.
So,
I listen, I just hope he works on that because Terrence Crawford's a dog. Like, they were talking about dog yesterday, and, Andre Ward was like, oh, dog doesn't mean just taking punches. It means, but I get it. That's also true. But dog also means when, you're busting up your opponent's face, you put him away. Like, you put that dog down. And Terrence Crawford would have done that, right? Errol Spence would have done that. So that's the only thing I think he needs to work on.
Was that Bud in his corner yesterday?
Yeah. They were, right?
Yeah, I saw.
I don't know if they're friends, but I guess they used to train.
He was in his corner, though.
They train together, they spar and stuff like that.
That's cool.
We got about 4 minutes left here. Celtics, Bucks going on right now. Looks like the Bucks are up 8 with 8:36 left. Double header. How do you see that series playing out?
with the Bucks and Celtics.
Yeah.
I like the Bucks to win it just because it's hard to bet against Giannis right now. Tatum's playing really well, but I mean, I'm not sure if Robert Williams did come back today, but without Robert Williams, they're going to have a tough time trying to guard him because he's the only one that has the athletic ability to even slow Giannis down.
He's played 22 minutes, so maybe he's limited because.
Yeah, and they gotta hope. Then they'd have to hope they don't go down 2-0 to start the series because I'll really put them in the back.
Well, now they're down 14, so that game's pretty much going to be over in 7 minutes. But intriguing series, Dave. I like this series a lot. I like this Grizzlies Warriors series. I think it's going to be a fun one. John Morant be putting people. That dunk the other day.
I was about to say dunk
of the year.
Ridiculous.
I think that's going to be a good series. What are your thoughts on where that goes?
I think it's going to be a good series. I mean, you can't get better against the Warriors at this point. I think so. I think they have the best, probably 3 tandem in the playoffs. The Grizzlies, how many comebacks did they have to do? You know what I'm saying, last round, just to get. You know what I'm saying?
They can't be getting down 20.
You can't. So that's my thing. That's my thing.
That 40.
That's a lot. That's a lot to do. I don't think they can sustain something like that, and I don't think they can fall like that in this series as well. So, but I listen. I have the Warriors probably
like you said, the Warriors
probably 5
that
or 6.
Lead. They can't hope for Golden State to go that way.
And not the way the Warriors can mount up points too so quickly. No way. So.
I think the Warriors are going to make it to the finals, but I think this might be the best series.
Yeah.
In the whole playoffs. I think it's probably gonna go 7. And I think
I mean, Suns Golden State is going to be good in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah,
but I think
it
this
is.
was going to be fun. It's going to be up and down, more up and down than I think the Suns Mavericks is going to be.
Memphis has a bunch of shooters that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
They can shoot
They also
threes
got
too.
Patterson's own Kyle Anderson. You know.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Let's
he is
go.
the new Boris Diaw. He is so slow, but he gets to the point he needs to
Hey,
get
Boris
to.
Diaw, man. I remember that.
Patterson's own Kyle Anderson. I'm a root for him.
Yeah.
Heat and Sixers and B. We don't know how long he's out for.
Minimum 2 games.
So you think this is 5 games? 5 games probably.
Yeah.
Harden, baby. It's all on Harden. What do you think?
Playoff Harden?
Playoff Harden.
What do you say about playoff Harden?
So what do you
No
think?
show.
What do
No
you
show.
think?
show.
No show. He's gonna have maybe one good
5
game.
games.
They maybe win.
Yeah.
Maybe they get 2, but yeah, they're done at 5 or 6.
Damn, I like Embiid too, but
Yeah, pretty impressive though. You know how the Heat were able to win that series. I mean, with all their people, out. I mean, they overcame those injuries. But
All they need is Jimmy. Yo.
yeah,
so
I mean,
that's it, baby.
Sixers
Future
probably should.
Nick.
Sixers probably should have
Bucks,
kept
baby.
them.
Done. Stop.
Damn, what do you think? Every Chicago Bull goes to the Knicks?
Why
Jordan
not?
almost made it.
Why not?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
what the hell is he talking about, bro?
But yeah, I think the Sixers should have kept Jimmy, and they catered to Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Now look where they are.
That sucks.
And then I guess Mavericks and the
Suns.
Suns. Devin's back. Chris Paul's being annoying.
That's gonna be a good series.
I think it's gonna be a good.
Yeah,
series
it's gonna be a
too.
good series, I think.
I don't know who I'm picking for that one though.
7 games.
I think it might go 7.
I'm gonna go with Suns, but I don't think it'll go 7 because if it goes 7, then Luka may put up something special in Game 7 to win it. So I'm gonna go Suns in 6.
I'm gonna go Suns at 7.
Yeah, I'll go Suns, probably 6 as well. So, yeah, I mean,
And then Luka put up like a 50, 10, and 10 in Game 7,
Possible.
which he can. Yeah.
It's possible. Oh well, that's the show for today. We'll talk about baseball down the road.
Yeah.
baseball. It's still early, right?
I still haven't seen a full Yankee
I'll have
game.
some
We haven't had a good sample size
I'll
yet.
have some surprises for Dave when the baseball really
Hold on,
kicks
wait,
off.
Oh,
wow!
And we'll end it on. We'll end it on that.
Beautiful. I love it.
You know why it's still very-
I love it,
We'll
baby.
end it on
At least
that.
something to
We'll
play,
end
that's
it on
why.
that.
I love it,
Goodbye.
baby.
2 weeks in a row. We'll see you next week at some point.
Love you, mi gente. Peace.